afternoon. Welcome back to T3. We're finally back with a review. We're going to be doing the Lenovo Y540, which I have spec'd for a friend that asked me, what's the best gaming laptop money could buy? And pretty much this is what I came up with. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Alrighty, so we have the package that was delivered to us right here. There was a lot of plastic and stuff which I've obviously taken off of it so we can get inside and have a look. So we have the backpack. We're going to start off with this firstly. These aren't new to some of the stalwarts on our channel, but EveTech does ship the Lenovo with one of their proprietary backpacks, and these are very nice. The internals and stuff on this backpack are very, very good. I'll give you guys a little peek inside. So you've got the laptop portion itself, and then a whole bunch of nice little pouches and little storage compartments and stuff throughout the backpack. So you'll be able to put pretty much everything you need with a gaming laptop in a backpack like this. And I like it. I like it a lot, I must say. It's very good, very nice, good touch. Good job, Uncle EveTech. Sorry for disrespecting your bag. I'll chuck it down there. But inside this box is the Lenovo Y540, the reason we are all here. So I was kind of given a task by one of my good friends, Mr. Rainer Neff, to help out his good friend Christian. She needed a gaming laptop that could also be used for 3D and Adobe Suite. So I had a little look around, and the best kind of price versus performance and warranty was actually the Lenovo. This here laptop comes with a 3-year on-site warranty, which is absolutely invaluable. If you call their call center, they will basically send a technician, well, they will send a technician out to you within 24 hours with a complete set of spares for your laptop. So that is something that's hard to beat. Now, another thing about Lenovo, I think a lot of us forget, is they bought the ThinkPad department from IBM, which until that point, and continuing on to that point, basically makes some of the best industrial notebooks in the world. They've taken what they've learned there and they've applied it to this here notebook. And I must say, on the initial look of things, it's quite a damn good product. So let's open up the box. Quite a nice experience here of opening up this thing as we take the laptop out over here. Let's put that over there. Then underneath we have the power bricks and that kind of stuff, which we will have a look at when we want to turn it on. But let's have a look at the physical laptop itself first. Okay, so here is the baby itself. Oh. And I must say, it's the first thing I noticed when I took it out was just build quality, build quality, build quality. It feels like that ThinkPad, you know, finish and that kind of stuff. It's got a bit of, you know, brushing here and there, but oh, what a nice thing to open up. Nice and cleanly finished. It doesn't look like a gaming laptop. It kind of has a bit more of an understated kind of style about it in general. On it, a nice thin bezel as well is quite a nice touch from there. They've moved the camera and stuff to the bottom, which I thought was quite interesting. And then normal scissor chiclet keyboard with generally actually quite a bit of travel, more than I normally see. Touchpad, which is kind of irrelevant if you're going to be using it for gaming, but it does have a touchpad, so when you're on the go, you'll have something to use. It's multi-touch and all that kind of stuff. But the best part, I think, of this laptop is how they've done the ports on the physical setup. So there's one USB here on the side with the headphone jack, and then another USB on the right-hand side. But then all of your major ports come out the back of the laptop. So if you're looking at something for a desktop replacement, well, there you go. Everything is pretty much as it would be on a PC coming out the back. You've got your network, HDMI, Thunderbolt, USB Type-C, USB ports. There's basically everything you need, and then a nice little lock mount as well. But yeah, that's an audio by Harman. I didn't actually know that. That's pretty cool. So without further ado, let's actually switch this on and see what the performance. Well, let's see if it performs. Let's see if it looks good. But how does it perform? I'm coming around. Alright, so this is going to be first boot. I haven't switched on the machine yet. For those that are curious, it does have quite a sizable brick. It is a 230 watt So it is a fat boy brick. But I'm actually quite happy about that because I thought it was going to be about 180 watt. So they've put in an extra 50, so we should get the most out of all of the components here. If you're curious about the spec, we'll put it on the screen now so you guys can have a look. But here we go with the first boot. Let us see what it does. The screen came on, which is a good sign. So it simply means that it's probably working. Does the backlight work from it? Yes, it does. There we go. Straight up, normal white backlight, no fancy RGB. Okay, so normal windows, rubbish. One thing I'm noticing that I wish was here, which I kind of really liked, were those old IBM mouse beads. That little sort of button that would sit in here was actually a mouse. And you could use that to navigate around just directionally. It was kind of like having an analog stick on your laptop. I can understand why it's not put here because it's superfluous, but I kind of wish it was, because it's like the IBM ThinkPad sort of, you know, like a little check mark. Anyway, it's fine. Ah, there's live. Hello. Hey, there we go. Alrighty, so let's have a look at bloatware first. Just see what they are shipping it with. So we can go to add or remove programs. Let's have a look. Alrighty, so Dolby Atmos is fine. Game bar would take out because that's pretty bad. Okay, so there's a Lenovo Vantage and a Lenovo Utility McAfee, which we are literally going to uninstall right now because, yeah, we don't want this machine's performance to be adversely affected by rubbish. But normal stuff, and actually only two bits of software really, other than the McAfee, which is pretty cool. So not much bloatware on the Lenovo, which is pretty cool. Only the Lenovo Vantage and the Lenovo Utility. Alright, so this is the Lenovo Vantage software. It is their advisable thing. I'm not going to enable anything now. I'm going to see what it does first. Skip that. Alrighty, okay. So this is pretty cool. This is a little control center. You can see what your RAM usage is and the speeds and stuff. So this is running at 2.7 on the RAM, so it's probably 2600 rated memory, which is pretty fast for a laptop, I must say. We're seeing the Intel processor stepping itself on its boost and its main clock, and then we can see the VRAM usage on the GPU. And then this is with the Hikvision E2000 SSD, which we used before in a review. We had the 512 in our main PC. So I know that this is going to be a very, very good SSD that EveTech have packaged with the system. So that's very nice to see. So we have a thermal mode. So we can have performance, balance, or quiet. We'll leave it on balance for now. And then optimizers, network boost, hybrid mode, rapid charge, touchpad lock, Dolby on and off for sound effects. Got some power controls, so you can see the battery condition and all of that kind of stuff. Hey, that's pretty nice. This is actually quite nice, I must say, as far as built-in system stuff goes. On the initial look of things, it looks quite good. Got an optimizer, add apps that you want to close when you launch a game. Wow, okay, so you can add, even tell it to close games and that kind of or apps when you're launching games. That's pretty nice. So I look at the system tools options. What do we have here? Power, audio, visual, smart settings, general stuff. So power stuff, hardware scans, warranty and service guide in here. That's actually quite a nice little bit of software. There's a Lenovo Vantage, and when you close it, it is closed. Something I noticed is it's not launching any extras of its own volition, so the bloatware isn't actually active bloatware. So very good job there from Lenovo, I must say. That is actually quite good. So now, what I'm going to do, firstly, is I'm going to update the graphics card driver. I'm going to download Cinebench, and I'm going to get Superposition Benchmark because it's the easiest and quickest. And we're just going to test to see what the performance is like in the chassis because it's very, very small, slim and light. So as I said, we have flashed the spec, but just in case, 16 gigs RAM, i7 9750H and a 1660 Ti. So let me do some downloads and we'll be right back.
Moments later.
Boom! And we are right back. As you can see, everything is now installed. I have used a very sneaky little tool called Ninite. It's actually shown to me by a very dear and personal friend. My name is as Wilson XXL, but this is the ultimate lazy app for when you redo your machine, because you can just select all of the freeware packages that you want to install and use, and it'll automatically download and install them for you. So I've done that. I've updated the graphics card driver. We put Superposition and Cinebench on the machine. So now we get to the exciting part to talk about performance. So we're going to start off with Cinebench and looking at what the processor will be able to do. I've cheated because I've done a run before this, so I know kind of what its performance is going to be like, but just to show you, this is basically a render test. Now, this processor is actually quite impressive. It's going to come out with about a 1200 point on the score, which is basically a 12-core 24-thread Xeon level of performance from like 5 years ago. So to think that that's now available in a laptop, it's very good. And to compare that to current 6-core 12-thread desktop kind of processors, it's only about 10% slower on this kind of workload, which is impressive. And as you can hear, not a peep, not an absolute sound from the laptop. The fan didn't kick on at all. Then we've got the 1214, it did a 1220 on our first run. I guessed 1180, which I just want to point out was within like 5% of the actual result. So good guesstimation based on what it looked like. I have run this benchmark a couple hundred times though. So, but this is not about me, it's about the laptop, and it's very impressive. i7 9750H, very, very good chip, very, very quiet. As you can hear, no noise came out throughout the entire benchmark. But this isn't going to be only used for Adobe Suite. This is going to be used for 3D and for gaming. And to that end, we have the Superposition benchmark, which we are going to run on the 1080p Extreme preset. Now, this is quite a brow beater of a benchmark. Our 1080 with our 2700X only produced an average of 42-ish FPS. So if we see anything over 30 here with a 1660 Ti, I would say it's a win. But without further ado, let's run it and see what it does. Alrighty, so there we go, ran Superposition. Now, I've screwed the pooch on the opening of this pretty hard, because our test bench with the 1070 Ti only got 32 frames per second average. This has come in with a 22 frame per second average, so there's a 30% performance differential, but that's a 1070 Ti on a much bigger board. This is supposed to be a 1060 replacement kind of GPU, is the 1660 Ti. So it's a bit better than the 1060, the standard 1060 would be. It's nowhere near as low on score. Those will get about 18-ish frames per second average. So this has done an exceptionally good job, and without too much noise. The fans did come on about halfway through the benchmark, and a grueling benchmark that it is. But we maxed out at 69 degrees and was hovering at 68, 69 degrees. And those are desktop performance temperatures. So is it going to be able to run the games well? Yes. Is it going to be able to do workloads like Adobe or 3D Suite rendering? Yes. Is it going to do it coolly and quietly? Yes. Quietly, there is a bit of fan noise, it's expected. How big is the laptop, right? Like, how big is this actual laptop? If I close it and I hold it sideways, like, it's not big at all. And even where it was running now, the desk is warm and the laptop's warm, but it's not out of control. So, all around, build quality, port setup, having the ports on the back was a stroke of genius. Having the ability to have a 2.5-inch drive as well as an SSD, a proper M.2 SSD that you can upgrade, like with a Hikvision, as EveTech has done here, 16 gigs of RAM. This is simply fantastic. And for 22,000 Rand with a backpack, I must say, it is quite a compelling laptop for this kind of segment. So if you are looking at a gaming laptop or at a workstation laptop, Lenovo Y540, big thumbs up from T3. Thank you all so much for watching. We do hope to see you in the next review. Probably a news episode early next week. Watch for it on Tuesdays. We'll see you then. Have a good one.